Alright, so we are going to replace the radio in the 85 C10. And this one is just, of course I've been using one of these tape adapters and it doesn't work that great. And it doesn't stay tuned very well. You tune it and you're driving and you're constantly having to adjust the tune just a little bit to keep the static out of it. So what I've got, I picked up a new old stock on eBay. This is a Optimus 21-2130. Now, what I did is I wanted one that had an auxiliary input. This one has a little CD input. And I had found an Optimus that did, and I actually went to their site, and they still have all the manuals and everything for all their stereos. And I found this model, and then there's one that's slightly better. This one, like I said, is a 21-2130. They have a 12-2131, which looks pretty much identical to it. The only difference, I think it's 44 watts or something. It's more powerful. Plus, the other one has, instead of just a tone control, it has separate bass and treble. So I really wanted one of the 2130s or 2131s. Looking on eBay all around, I couldn't find a 2131 or a 2130. 2130 was my second option. And so I just kept checking every once in a while on eBay, and this one popped up for sale, new in box, and I couldn't pass it up. Got a good deal on it. And so we're going to swap that in. I may still keep an eye out. I really wanted the separate bass and treble controls. The wattage, that's a little bit of a benefit, but I'm not crazy about tone control. I really like to be able to adjust bass and treble separately instead of having to settle for an in-between. I like bass and treble. I don't want to go bass or treble and then have to settle somewhere in between. So, like I said, this one's better than what I've got, and it may just stay in here, but it does have a digital tuner, and like I said, it has CD input. So those are some good benefits that we will gain. 16 watts times 2 RMS, 4 watts times 4 RMS. So it's not a high power, but it's got to be more powerful than that one. So like I said, I picked up this. I also picked up, and that may be at 8 ohms, so it's either at 4 or 8. If it's at 8, we'll double that power since we've got 4 ohm speakers. Picked up some of these for the dash. Kicker DSC 350s. These are 3.5 inch. They should bolt right in on the dash. We'll have to pull the dash out to get to them. And then I picked up one of these wiring harness because I don't want to hack up the harness. And like I said, this thing still has the old shaft style stereo in it. And so I did not want to hack up the dash. That's why I went with finding a new old stock shaft radio. I'm not looking for a booming sound system in this thing. I just want some decent sound. And this should be decent enough for me. And so we'll put all this stuff in. Like I said, I didn't want to hack up the wiring, so I picked up this. This also has the little jumper fuse. So this stereo will only have switched power, for the ignition switch. This one will require a switched power and a always on power, and this comes with the little jumper plug to do that and some extra wire, so it goes in and plugs into the fuse box. So that's an added benefit. I don't have to hack into the fuse box or hack into another wire. This will just plug into the fuse box, so that's nice. This truck, my grandfather was the second owner of it, and he bought it, maybe it was a year or two old, and it actually had, of course I changed the speakers out, but it had these 6x9 brackets in it, and it had some old, very old 6x9 speakers in it, just dual cone speakers. And so somebody, probably I don't think my grandfather put these brackets in the 6x9s. They also ran new speaker wire. And all that stuff, I say new speaker wire. It looks very old, but it's not factory. So at some point, probably in the first year or two of this truck's life, they took out the stock, I think they're 4x10s. I think that's what these came with stock. And put the 6x9 brackets in and put some 6x9s in it. And they sounded really bad after all the years. And so I picked up some Pioneers that were on sale, put those back there. And of course, now that's better. And the dash speakers actually, I mean, they're not high quality or anything, but they actually still sound okay for what they are. But we're going to have to pull this dash bezel out to replace the radio. So while it's out, I'm going to go ahead, it's just a few more bolts, and we'll pull the dash pad out and replace the dash speakers with those. So let me get started. I think the first thing I'll do is I will wire up the radio. You know what, I'll take the radio out and make sure this is the right harness. It should be. It says it should be. So we've got a pickup full size. We've got an 85. It's supposed to work from 73 to 87. And this was like $9 at Walmart. So anyway. So let's get started. So before I replace this stereo, I figured I would do a sound test. And we'll do a before and after. And so I'm going to be trying to do all of my stereo test and speaker test and all that using the same music, so that so that we get kind of, I don't know, so you can hear the difference between all the tests, if that makes sense. So that, you know, we got the same song or same style playing through all of my different stereo tests, so you can kind of hear the difference in quality between them. So, tape adapter in. And the tape adapter, I do have a FM modulator. The tape adapter works better because, like I said, this thing does not tune very well. And so using the tape adapter, you're fine driving. If you use the FM tuner, you start getting static. You have to keep tuning it and all that kind of stuff. So I actually started out with the FM modulator and then ended up getting a tape adapter at a thrift store. So let's play some music. Like I said, I replaced the back speakers with some Pioneer threeways. Lacking in treble. By the way, I have the treble all the way up. The bass is, the tone's all the way to treble.